Tired of spending all my time angry, making videos, trying to get justice in my sick, filthy, hateful, corrupt Rock Island, Illinois. Here it is. QC freelance writer interviewed crash victim. President Trump, would you ask Mr. Putin about this, what I'm about to read to you when you meet with him, please? By Thomas Geyer, Quad City Times. David Heitz, a freelance online journalist based in Rock Island, said he was shocked to learn Friday that one of the men from the World Health Organization he interviewed this week for a story on HIV prevention and care was among the dead on Malaysian Airlines Flight 17. Well, he was among the dead because the Russians shot Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 right out of the sky, folks. It was on the way to an AIDS conference in Australia, and I had interviewed a high-ranking World Health Organization official moments before he boarded it. And here's the story by Tom Geyer of the Quad City Times. By God, folks, I made the frickin' front page not as a writer that day, because right here it is. On the front page, they call that a reefer. Isn't that funny? Tom Geyer interviews David Heitz. So let's keep reading my story. WHO spokesman Glenn Thomas, based in Geneva, was en route to an AIDS conference in Australia when the jetliner was shot down. This was July 19, 2014 edition. Of course, now we know it was the Russians, but it took about 4 years to learn that. Quote, I interviewed him via email, which is not so unusual in the online journalism field, Heitz said Friday. I sent him the first urgent email. I labeled it urgent on Wednesday at 6:24 a.m., and he responded at 7:07 a.m. I had sent him a very personal email about me, and he responded to my questions for my story very quickly. Now, do you suppose that if I sent him a really personal email, I might have talked about some of the weird stuff going on here in corrupt Quad Cities? He was very thorough, very professional. I went to bed Thursday knowing about the crash, but I get up Friday and hear there were some people from WHO's Geneva office on the plane. There were so many people who work for WHO that I didn't really think it would be anybody I talked with. When I found out Glenn Thomas, who was the top dog for the organization, was among the dead, I thought, you've got to be kidding me. It's been bugging me all day. He had a big impact on me in a short time. I had just started covering HIV for Healthline, and he was a great source. Something's going on that stinks in terms of what happened to me. Hey, folks, I'm protected. You're damn right I'm protected. I'm protected everywhere I go. And it's more and more obvious. And they want me to know so that I don't freak out and stroke out and have a heart attack. But that's what's going to happen if I don't get my cannabis at some point today. God, isn't that something when you're giving shit away on the marketplace and nobody will buy it because whack job cuckoo birds are effing with you? I'll tell you what, the bar stools are $15. They're freaking nice bar stools. I'm a nut for selling them for that price. How sad that I'm selling everything I own just to remain medicated and not die when my sick, filthy, hateful family, sick Lisa Pittard, sick lying Lisa Pittard. You know why I keep bringing her name up, FBI, DOJ? When this all went down, my former prom date, Heather Lee Gray, who shortly after I was jailed and tortured on no charges, and Heather and I was done with her. I'll never speak to her again or anyone in her family because they're all nuts. She started running around town. Glad I work for Mock Warner. I'm getting a divorce. She was running around town screaming that. That was 4 years ago. I feel so bad for Andy. I really do. I know so much now because I've reconnected with the community. FBI, DOJ, you need to look into the Lee family. Heather Lee, John Lee, and you need to look into Lisa Pittard because when this all went down, Heather called up Lisa Pittard, started all kinds of trouble, told lies to my aunts, my cousins. Heather Gray, you need to get immediate treatment along with your brother. FBI, DOJ, go talk to Lisa Pittard, figure out what's going on with the Grays. They showed up here the other day. The brother has threatened me by email. I'm very scared of the Heather Lee Gray family, all of them. I'm scared of them. And my cousin Lisa is somehow in cahoots with them. FBI, DOJ, please figure this out. I am angrier than hell. Everybody just leave me alone. I'm going to try to sell those bar stools today. They're awful nice bar stools. I hope somebody buys them. I can feel the anxiety radiating up and down my spine, down to the tips of my fingers. I am pissed off that I have to live like this. I want people arrested!